Today, the long-anticipated Real ID deadline has arrived.
As ABC 36's Walker Simmons reports, with Real ID enforcement requirements in effect, security lines at Bluegrass Airport and around the nation will start to look different.
Today, the enforcement deadline for the Real ID license just got real. Airport security across the U.S. is now looking for a star at the top of your license. Officials say if you try to use an ID without a star, you may face a much slower process.
So that person would basically be pulled aside and taken and done. Extra screening will be done on that card. Trying to do our best to get everyone through and go through that screening process. Of course, that is a little bit more difficult at some of the larger airports, and that might be where you have some more challenges.
The Real ID Act was passed 20 years ago to the date. TSA says it's being implemented to set a new security standard for licenses. It's in response to 9/11. Some at the airport today say they made the change years ago and are grateful for the extra security it brings.
It's always better to know that you feel a little bit safer on your plane than, we've been around for a while, so we've lived through hijackings and all that, and having that extra level of security is better for me, I think.
While state officials say 36% of eligible Kentuckians, or more than 1 million people in the state, have the Real ID, the Bluegrass Airport says 80% of the travelers they screen are using the Real ID or another acceptable form.
So keep in mind that there are plenty of people out there who are using a U.S. passport to travel instead. And in addition, when you look at that 30% number, that's also referring to people who maybe don't even fly. So that said, though, we definitely recommend people get a Real ID because sometimes you don't know for emergency purposes when you might need to fly.
For more information on how to schedule a Real ID appointment, you can visit our website, WTVQ.com. In Lexington, Walker Simmons, ABC 36 News Now.